Today I'm going to be sharing some acrylic painting tips and tell you why I started with a black canvas. There's a good reason for this, and you may want to try it in your own artwork. Why did I start by painting my canvas black? Most of the colors that I use are fairly translucent. If I paint them right over the white, they'll come out looking lighter and likely a bit more streaky. In this case, I wanted a dark but soft background. So by painting the background solid black, I'm no longer fighting against the white of the canvas. You don't need to start by painting the canvas black. It just depends on what your subject is. Let's say you're painting a green field. Painting a burnt sienna or even a green tone can accomplish the same thing. Just remember that whatever color your base layer is, it is going to impact the colors you layer over it because most of those colors are going to be at least somewhat translucent. Now this saves me time because now I don't have to apply as many coats of the deep violet or greens to get the same end result. This makes it easier to get that smooth look. I apply the paint with a Taklon bristled filbert. Then I use a mop brush, well in my case I use a powder brush that is technically for makeup because they don't shed like art brushes do, and it saves a lot of money. Anyway, I'll put a link to that in the description. Mop brush is lightly used to soften out my brush strokes. I never use these brushes to apply paint. You'll often see videos where people do that. It's just kind of wasteful. There's no benefit in doing that other than wasting a lot of paint. If these brushes start to get wet or start to pick up too much paint as you blend out your brush strokes, they will start to create brush strokes instead of removing them. So I always want dry, clean brushes ready to go. So if one starts to get wet, I can switch really quick and get this really nice soft finish. Now, one of the things that you saw me use a couple of times here is a fine mist sprayer. I can do this to keep my paint wet for hours if I needed to. It just buys me a lot of time, really. It allows me not to have to rush so much to get that really nice blending so it looks more like an oil painting. Now, I will put a link to that in the video description as well. Notice that I don't draw my subject before I paint the background. This is because acrylic paints dry very fast. If I try painting around the butterfly and flower, the paint will start to dry and I won't be able to move fast enough to blend it all out. On top of that, I would end up getting brush strokes all over the butterfly anyway. Once I have my background done, I dry it completely, and then I take my drawing that I have previously done on tracing paper and use transfer paper to transfer that image onto the canvas. I don't like drawing directly on the canvas because you'll end up with eraser marks and smudges all over the place. Using tracing and transfer paper like this will get your image cleanly onto your canvas. Now, speaking of canvases, I am working on a Frederick's watercolor canvas board. This is a very smooth surface, which makes getting the really smooth blending you're seeing here and then the fine details that we're going to be doing later a lot easier than if you were working on a canvas that is too rough. I want to thank Frederick's for providing me with the canvas that I'm using in this video. But whatever canvas you choose to go with, do make sure it's something very, very smooth if you're trying to get smooth blending and fine detail. So now I'm starting with pink. This is actually my medium magenta mixed with white. I have white mixed in with it, not because this is the perfect color for my base. I just need something with white because the white is going to be opaque enough to cover that dark background. If I just painted the magenta color straight over this, it's just going to be way too dark. And that's going to be the same when I start with the butterfly. For the butterfly, I am just going to use white paint right over anywhere that I want to get that nice bright lime green. I'm not worried about making this layer super smooth. Those brush strokes just add detail for my future layers. If you blend everything too smooth, it comes out looking like plastic. Let some of those brush strokes show. I do want to make sure that the white is completely dry before I paint my next layer over it. And the same thing here, I want to make sure that's completely dry. Now I can take that same drawing that I've already done and use my tracing and transfer paper method again to go ahead and draw the details for the wings of the butterfly. If I would have pre-drawn that out and had to paint around them to fill in the wing, it just would have taken a lot of time. This makes things go much faster. Now, before we get onto the details that make this look really good, I have a message from our sponsor. I'm the sponsor. Are you enjoying this video? You can follow along brushstroke by brushstroke in real time over at patreon.com/Lachri. For as little as $6 a month, you get access to this full lesson, plus over 400 of my other full lessons. That is one heck of a deal. Head over to patreon.com/Lachri to become a student now. Now onto the parts of the painting that take it from looking like you painted it with your feet, well, foot in my case because I still have a broken one, but it will take it from looking like you painted it with your non-broken foot into an actual pretty painting. So I'm using these brushes. These are those cheapy ones. I got the Artify ones from Amazon, which I'm still absolutely in love with. It's such tiny detail with those round brushes. And I'm going to go ahead and paint in his floof. And I'm using the same colors I've used everywhere else in this painting. So mainly white, magenta, I've got a little bit of red oxide, or my greens and yellows. So we start with a base layer, and then we'll layer the highlights and shadows right on top of that. Remember, when you're painting, it's not a paint by number. We're going to do everything in layers. If you do a paint by number, it comes out kind of looking like plastic. I mean, not if you do an actual paint by number, but you do the paint by number style of just put the right color in the right place. That doesn't usually work out so great. Got a highlight on his little tongue. Seriously, that brush just gets such great detail. Remember, the harder you push with your brush, the thicker your lines will be. So if I want a really thin line, I'm going to thin that paint with a bit of water, and I'm just barely going to touch the bristles to the canvas. I'm often asked, can I just use a paint pen to get fine details? You can, but it gives it a very stylized look, and that can look really cool. I've done paintings like that, and I loved the effect, but it's very obvious that it's done with a paint pen. It doesn't have the same look as the rest of the painting. So I do recommend go ahead and experiment with paint pens, but don't do it because you don't want to learn how to create fine lines with a liner brush or a round brush. You really do want to get used to using those tools. Otherwise, you're going to limit yourself in the future. I'm just starting to map out now where those lines go. You can see they're a hot mess so far. We'll clean those up as we keep layering. I'm just using a lot of white to lighten up parts of the green, but not all of it. I want some to stay darker green and some to have that softer light green look. But I'm thinning the white out with a little bit of water so that it is more translucent. And I'm just using a Taklon bristled filbert to paint this in. And I'm going to come back through with my round brush and get some of the details and shadows underneath the veins in the wing. And this set makes such a difference. Moving on to the flower, I'm going to start with my base layer of my magenta. I'm just going to go one solid layer there, dry it all the way. And now I'm going to come on with my mid-range tone, which is my medium magenta. You could also just add a bit of white to magenta if you don't have medium magenta. And I'm not covering all of the regular magenta, the darker color. I want to make sure I've got variation. So I've got the really dark area, now this mid-tone, and now I've mixed white with my medium magenta to get a really light pink. I'm going to come through and add a few smaller highlights. Again, I'm not covering all of the medium pink or the darker magenta. I want to make sure all three of those colors show. A few more white highlights. I'm hitting the tops of some of the petals and the center of the flower. Just makes everything look a little bit more sparkly, going right around the edges of the wings as well. I'm coming back through with some magenta with a little bit of black mixed in with it to get some shadows on the inside or undersides of some of the petals. And there is our finished painting. Remember, if you want to paint along with me, brushstroke by brushstroke in real time, you can head over to patreon.com/Lachri and get this, plus over 400 of my other longer lessons, everything from beginner to advanced. Start improving your own paintings today. If you need more great tips for painting in acrylics? Check out this video here.